Hi, everybody. My name is Donald. I'm the co-founder of America Mortgages, the world's only U.S. bank focused on foreign nationals and expats living overseas. And I'm super excited to have our next guest. He represents a Boston developer, which has a super hot offering downtown Cambridge, very close to all the major schools. We've been working with JB for many years now, and we're really excited to be working with him on this project. I wanted to introduce JB and hear a little bit about his background and how he came about this opportunity to represent this developer. JB, how are you doing? Welcome to Singapore.
Thanks, Donald. I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background and how you came about this opportunity to represent this developer in Boston?
Sure. So I've been a full-time broker globally for 25 years. I started my career in France. I'm French originally. So I was a full-time broker in France for 10 years. I made the move to the US in 2011. I've been a full-time licensed broker in California since then. Last year, I was ranked top 2,000 agent in the US out of 1.6 million globally. Sorry. So I've had a pretty good career in terms of sales, local sales, US properties. And over the years, I've also worked a lot with buyers in Asia. I was involved with a major player for a few years in China and Hong Kong, Singapore. So I've always been in that sphere. And I recently came across that project in Boston, that developer who's a friend of mine. And she hired me to start sales in Asia for her new coming development projects. She's really smart, and she's preparing properties that are really appealing to me. I think the Boston market is the most interesting market to me for overseas buyers. It's much smarter than LA or New York as an investment opportunity. So I really believe in the project. I thought for the few years to come, it's a good product. When you're a salesperson, you want to sell something good. So
yeah,
that was my angle on that. And so I became recently the vice president of global sales. I run sales for Asia and for US market altogether. But so far, we have so much success overseas. I think we're going to sell out very quickly in Hong Kong, Singapore before we even touch other markets.
It's looking that way. We've been working on this project for a few weeks, and the demand is a lot stronger than I expected. So look forward to working on this deal with you.
Me too.
So let's start off with the neighborhood. Where is it located?
So it's one of the best neighborhoods for schools because it's right at the line between Somerville and Cambridge, right in between. So we are 5-minute drive on one side from Harvard and 5 minutes from MIT on the other side. So really a really cool location, central to Boston schools, a very vibrant neighborhood, fully developed, mature neighborhood where you don't really see many big developments. So our development is a boutique project in a mature neighborhood where you can do everything walking. We're actually 5-minute walk on one side from the subway station, 5 real minutes. And on the other side, we're 5-minute walk from Cambridge Street with all the fancy shops and restaurants for students and young professionals. So this is a really cool neighborhood.
Okay. And tell me, what's the demographic of this around this area? Is it an older population, a younger population?
So it's very young. So mostly either students or young professionals. Once again, there's so much tech and pharmaceutical companies in Boston that established headquarters around because they want all those bright students coming out of school so to join their company. So there's Boston is one of the highest first-time job out of school market you can find in the US. So a lot of young professionals will stay around Boston after school. This is the kind of neighborhood they love. You can do everything walk. We have a few videos. You can see everybody's also biking. It's a really cool and quiet and nice, enjoyable neighborhood.
Amazing. So before we talk about the property, can you talk a little bit about why the rental market and investment market in this area is so robust? I read that in Boston, it's a 0% vacancy rate for renters. So why is that?
I mean, once again, we go to a couple big reasons. Number one, Boston is the number one student city in America. There's over 500,000 students in Boston, including 100,000 foreigner students in Boston. Number two is one of the largest city for pharmaceutical. They host the largest pharmaceutical convention in the world over the summer. It's just so many research center, medical center, so many famous hospitals, foundations. And so there's just a giant source of good jobs, high-paying jobs, fresh out of school. And so, of course, the rental market is super strong in Boston. There's just nothing for rent, and there's multiple tenants for every opportunity available in that neighborhood.
Amazing, amazing, interesting. Okay, so let's talk about the property. So, talk about the property in terms of how big it is, how many units, how many floors, etc.
Sure. So it's really cool because to me it's a boutique project. It's not an area where you can build like a fancy high floor tower, shiny with a lot of expensive services like pool, like concierge and things like that. This is a small, low-key boutique project in a nice, quiet neighborhood. It's only 4 floors plus an underground parking lot. We have a total of 26 units available for sale right now. We already reserved half of it. So hurry up, we only have half of the building left. It's a really cool building. The key for me is that it's going to be cheap to carry compared to some of those bigger buildings. Our monthly HOA, so homeowner association fees to maintain the building per unit are really low. There's an elevator, there's a really cool rooftop, but no expensive amenity that will increase your carrying costs. So this is really good.
And are the units furnished with furniture, washer, dryer, those type of amenities?
So they're standard to local practices. That means it's fully done. The unit you'll get will be fully done. Floors, walls, kitchen, all appliances included, all GE brand. But it's not furnished because local renters will always come with their own furniture. So this is the perfect setup for a typical standard local renter. Okay.
And what are the unit configurations?
So we have a nice mix in the building. We tried to keep it friendly and convenient. So we have studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms on the smaller size globally to keep the price a little low and a little lower. And the studios start in the 450 square feet, and up to slightly over 1,100 for the 3 bedrooms. Usually the 3 bedrooms are 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and then we have 2 bed, 2 bath, and 2 bed, 1 bath, and then 1 bed, 1 bath.
And the price point, what are they starting at? And the bigger units, the three bedroom units, around 1,100 square feet. What's the price point for these units?
So we're around 1,500 a foot per unit. So it really depends on the size of the unit. But right now we start, I think, for the studios in the 600,000. The Boston market's pretty expensive, and so for the Boston market, we're very affordable. For those of you who've seen some other fancy projects coming from Boston in the past, like Millennium Tower or things like that in the financial district, those were sold at $2,200 a foot years ago, and that financial district area is not good to me for investment. The HOA fees were crazy high, over $2,000 per month for a small unit, and that area is all the financial district. It's all empty right now. We are in the school area. We're much more affordable per square foot. And then our carrying cost is very reasonable. The only fancy thing is we have an elevator, rooftop, so a little bit of cleaning fees and things like that. So it's going to be a nice, affordable project to carry and a good investment.
Yeah. So in terms of investments, what are the gross yields that you're seeing at the moment for the building?
So with the current rental market, the gross will be around 5%, which is a pretty standard plus for a larger city in the US. And then your net will be over 3.5, which is pretty good. Once again, we don't reach that in Los Angeles or New York. The thing is, once again, our carrying costs are cheaper. Our fees are cheaper. Our property tax in Boston is a little cheaper than the other states. the other major states. So we are at 0.87% of the purchase price per year, compared, for example, to Los Angeles at 1.25. So, yeah.
5% yield is unheard of for a major metropolitan city in the U.S. You won't get that in New York. You don't get that anywhere in L.A. So interesting, especially with a 0% vacancy rate. Like, you don't have to worry about ever finding a tenant. So cool. So where? Let's talk about where exactly. So the address. What's the building called and the address called?
So
address is?
Sure. The building is called 1 Inman Square. It's on Prospect Street, right in the heart of Somerville, Cambridge.
Great.
And yeah. So
Okay, so 26 units. We've sold 13 already. Obviously, this is very rare that we're in this business. So it's very rare that we get a full turnkey offering from a developer. Usually, you have you have to deal with a property developer, and you have to deal with different intermediaries. You're dealing with the developer directly. So, thank you for this opportunity. Tell us about the demographic of the 13 units that you've sold. Like, what are they buying for, and what is their motivation?
Sure. So I've been presenting projects all over Asia for over 8 years, and usually we always get a good share of investors on every project. This one is special to me. So far, we've only had people who intend to live in the units or use the units for themselves, or their children who go to school to Boston. It's very, very impressive, the amount of people in Asia who know and have been to Boston or are going in the next couple months because it's admission season. So that's the right time to go and come see us. Please do contact us and come see us. We have a full team on site. We will happily meet with potential customers. But yeah, so the demographic is... it's all related to schools, as you can imagine, in Boston.
Interesting. So I can share a little bit about my journey. I was born and raised in Asia, and when I attended school in Los Angeles, my parents also bought some property. I never actually ended up staying there after I graduated, but the journey, and actually, ironically, for those out there, I hosted a luncheon for JB, and some of the potential investors who attended the lunch. One of them had a child at MIT. Their children will actually 3 prospects, all with children planning to go to school in Boston. And the thought process is, okay, we'll let the child stay in the dorm for a year, have that dorm life, but we want them to stay in the unit. And when I go visit my children, I don't have to pay $800 a night, to stay in a hotel. I can stay in my own house, and with the capital appreciation in the building after 4 years, you can either sell it and actually pay for college tuition, or maybe your child wants to stay in the unit to get some Western experience before they move back to Asia, or you can rent it out and develop credit for your child, which is very important in the U.S. So it ticks a lot of boxes. The price point's good. And it's in a neighborhood that it's very safe, up and coming. What's already up and came. So it's super exciting. So I think, for those out there that are planning a trip to Boston this summer, please give us a call. We'll arrange a visit to go visit the property. So look forward to hearing from you. I wanted to talk about financing. As you know, America Mortgages is a U.S. bank. We're the only U.S. bank that has loan officers around the world, and we focus 100% on foreign nationals and expats living overseas. So our specialized loan products are focused on foreign nationals. We can lend up to 75% of the value of the home, and if you're an expat, up to 80% of the value of the home. And our most popular program is called our AM rental coverage product, which means we don't need your income to qualify. We qualify based on the rental income of the property. And in this case, it turns out that in Boston, rents are very high, so your ability to cover your mortgage payments is very easy. And again, for foreign nationals, we can lend up to 75% loan to value, and for expats, 80%. So imagine buying these properties, and every month you're clipping $500 to $1,000 net cash flow. And so what happens is, over the course of, say, 3 years, your rent increases by 5% a year. Your property value increases 5 to 10% a year. And after 3 years, you call us and we refinance at a higher price, and you recoup a lot of your capital costs. But maybe in 3 years, interest rates could be lower, so your margins will expand because your rental income goes up and your cost of funding goes down. So that's a really exciting opportunity. And again, what makes Boston unique is that it's a major metropolitan city in the U.S., but there is, it's sort of immune to business cycles and economic changes because there's always demand for, students, professors, biotech, like JB said, and it's a 0% vacancy rate. Which is unheard of in any U.S. city. So look forward to hearing from you. We'd love to help you with the financing. Our details are in the description below. And let me tell you about the exciting promotion that we're offering. From a lending standpoint, we will waive the appraisal costs. That's more or less about $800. And JB has agreed free airfare to go visit the property in Boston. That's super exciting. We all know how much airfare costs for all of us now. So if you're interested, please contact us. JB's willing to front the airfare. If you use us for a mortgage, hope you do, we're going to waive the appraisal costs. Hope that's enough to get you excited to learn more about this project. And we look forward to hearing from you.